Hello, 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 I'm coming. Right there. Can you see me, guys? Is it working for you? Is it okay? Remember that if you're watching this on Patreon, you can come directly on YouTube, so you can have access to the chat and we can talk directly together. It's gonna be better, you know. I'm really spending the day with you guys. Like, since 2 days now, I'm filming my reactions and my thoughts to The Witcher, the new season of The Witcher. And now I began to edit these videos, so really, you don't know it, but we're spending all of our days together, in fact, since 2 days. That's cool, that's fun, but you know, I'm getting tired of my own voice at some point. Don't hesitate to say hi into the chat so I can see who is right there. Someone new or not? Yes, I prepared some water. Tell me if you can hear me alright also. I hope that there is no issue with that. Normally it's okay. I hope that you spent a good day, you know, at work or not. Maybe you're already in holidays. You're so lucky. I'm gonna take 1 week at the beginning of July. I'm gonna take 1 week of holidays, and that's gonna be so great. I'm already dreaming of it. Like, clearly, I want these holidays. Like, I think that it has been more than 1 year now that I didn't take more than 3 days, you know. So really, these holidays, I love you guys. I'm gonna continue to check the comments and all of that, but that's all that I'm gonna do during this week of holidays that I'm gonna take. Do you have access to the chat, you know, on YouTube? I hope that everything is functioning right. It seems so, at least for me. Hello, hello. How are you, my dear? You're so far, you know. What? How? You know, like, how it is for you. Did you spend a good day or did you spend a good night, you know, at this point? I was saying 2 a.m. off. I'm gonna keep you awake. Maybe you're gonna leave us at some point. Maybe you're gonna fall asleep, you know, in front of me, something like that. I'm gonna make you, you know, ASMR sessions, sounds with my voice and stuff like that. I was just saying, you know, that I spent these 2 days with you guys because I filmed my reactions and my thoughts to the new season of The Witcher. That was great, but now I'm beginning to edit these videos and it's beginning to be, you know, me hearing my own voice, like I'm getting tired of myself. Hello, hello, how are you, girl? Are you alright? Did you make your tattoo? I'm really... Each time that we're gonna see each other now, I'm gonna ask you the question. Oh, and I didn't ask you also if you had the job that you wanted or not, you know, how it went, this interview and all. I didn't check that on you. If you feel like you can say it, don't hesitate. Genshin Impact, I saw so many ads, you know, about that game. At this point, you know, watching so many of them, I was like, I'm not playing games, but if I would play games, I wouldn't play to that one just because of that, you know, just because of all of these ads that I saw everywhere. But if it's a good one and if it's pleasing you, that's great, you know. Are you watching The Witcher, the both of you? I'm wondering if I saw you on the comments for this one. I don't think so. I don't know. Tell me that. No matter what, you know that we can talk about plenty of stuff. Which ufotable makers and dancers will be making it into an anime? We're gonna have an anime of Genshin Impact? Which? I don't know what to think of it. You know, if they're gonna do it only for marketing reasons or really because, you know, this universe, you know, the game, it's based on something, it's based on books, on manga, you know, on stuff like that. Because if it's really just to create something else based on that universe just for marketing reasons, but maybe it can be great no matter what. We saw plenty of stuff which were made only for marketing reasons, you know, for money reasons, and at the end, there were good stuff. A lot of Star Wars shows. And I did it in ASMR for you aussi. Genshin, it's something. Okay, cool. It can be great. Just like The Last of Us. Yep, that was cool, The Last of Us. So you said that you watched The Witcher, that was for that, the yes? Did you have the time to watch the new season yet or not? I just finished it this morning and I really appreciated it, you know. It's really a first part of the season based on the characters for me and based on giving informations, having informations and all. But I'm wondering really about how they wrote the season. I don't know what to think about that. It's not badly written at all, but I think that at first they didn't plan to cut it in half, you know. I'm not spoiling you anything by telling you that, but I think that maybe they didn't create it for that, the writers at the beginning. Oh, cool! You got the job! I'm proud of you! I start in a week. Cool, because it means that you have some time to rest, you know, some time also to prepare yourself mentally for what it's gonna come. It's cool. I'm glad for you. No tattoo yet, so I hope I can get it soon. You'll see. And you'll see also with your job, if you need to find a place where you can hide it, you know, where it's not gonna be too exposed. That's why, you know, the 2 tattoos that I have, I made one just right there and the other one on the neck, the one that you know, the deer one. Because no one, you know, at my job or something like that can see it. Not just like that, you know. My internet is really slow right now. What is happening? Are we still crying for Nezuko in Demon Slayer, girl? I know that I talked about it, you know, with my brother last Sunday, and really just talking about it, I was like, but see how it was, and oh, I was in denial, I didn't want to believe it. You know, I was getting emotional just to talk about it. Oh, really? The end of that season of Demon Slayer, I think that it killed us all. My brother really acted like, no, I already read the manga, so I knew what was gonna happen. It was not a surprise. But still, even if you read the manga, I think that the moment itself, it should provoke some emotions, you know, like, come on. I know that I'm the emotional person in the family, but come on. It can provoke you some emotions. Just to see Tanjiro thinking that his sister is dying and, you know, he's leaving her like that, just to know that he's thinking that, it can make me cry. It was really so bad, so sad. But that's it. It's done. She's still alive and she's gonna talk. Like, really? Since how long? Guys, I'm telling you that I want the girl to talk, to be able to talk. Like, at some point, we needed to have it. Like, she deserves it. I'm wondering how they're gonna deal with that, truly. If they're really gonna give her a voice, like if she's gonna finally express some feelings, explain what happened for her, during all of this time. Like again, remember that she was transformed, and after that she lived all of this stuff without being able to explain her feelings, to share stuff. So I really hope that we're gonna have something like that. Even if the next season is gonna be so short. You guys, you told me that. But it's gonna be great, because it means that we're gonna wait less. I really hope so. I'm not, it's not gonna be okay if they are making us wait 1 year to have only 4 episodes. It's not gonna be okay at all. If they are making the same, then Attack on Titan, making us wait 6 more months just to have 1 more episode. I don't know if you heard the plane that I just had just right there. I'm living near to an airport, so sometimes I have that issue. Oh, and I continued for sure My Hero Academia. And that's it. I cried for it. Really badly. Yes, I hope we don't need to wait too long for mini-season. I really hope so. And really, I don't see how they can justify it, for making us wait for a long time. If it's really gonna be that short, I really can't see that happening. Maybe I'm just into a big denial, and I want to believe that they're not gonna make us wait only to make more money and stuff like that. But yes. So yes, My Hero Academia, I was saying, that's it. Like with the last episode that you had on Patreon, the next episode that I'm gonna watch, the fight between Ida and Stain, and after that Todoroki and Deku coming. And clearly, I cried. Oh, Ida. The fact that I fall in love with this character, like it was the first one with whom I fall in love with, it's making it, even harder for me to see that it's the first one that we have a story about, which is dark, which is... Oh, Todoroki, we had dark stuff about him, but it was mostly flashbacks, in fact. Right there, Ida. The fact also that he's always, the serious one and all, to see him going on the dark side, it hurts so much. But now, into where I am into the binge watching, right now I'm really more scared for what is gonna happen, because Stain, his ideas, it can convince a lot of people, and I'm really afraid of that. But I think we will have the longest wait so far for the season after. You mean for Demon Slayer? Yes, that's what you explained to me also, or someone else? I can't remember, but yes, that's what you explained to me, that after that, the next season is going to be really, really long, at least really with a lot of stuff into it, a lot of big stuff into it. Now that Muzan is going to go after our guys, it seems fair, like... Oh, it's going to be so big. It's going to be awesome. Like right there, we had 2 Ashira against 2 big demons, upper rank demons. So imagine now that Muzan, he knows that about Nezuko, he's going to send how many upper rank demons after her. Hi. But normally, I can't wait for that. Yes, that's going to be great. But normally Tanjiro is going to become an Ashira now. No? Come on! He deserves it. What are your predictions? For what, you mean? For Demon Slayer? Like, it's really difficult for me to have some predictions for it, because all of what we discovered about the future season, You already told me, guys, that it's gonna be more about really the Ashila discovering all of these abilities. So I don't have a lot of predictions for it. If I can make predictions, I think that it's gonna be more for the future. And you know, I was saying what we discovered about Muzan, you know, how he became himself a demon, all of the thing, you know, about the lily, all of that, like, all of that, for me, I still miss some information about it. And I still have so many questions, in fact. Even, you know, about Nezuko, I love the fact that she's so particular, you know, and that she has that ability to resist to the sun. I love that about her, but how can you explain that? It's because of her blood, surely because of her blood. For me, it means that her blood is important, and it's going with my theory about Tanjiro being a descendant of that wielder, something going on right there. For me, in fact, and I'm saying it since I began this anime, and I think that we talked already about it during some live sessions, for me, everything is bigger than it seems for now. And what we discovered of Muzan and the fact that Nezuko can resist to the sun, it was, for me, in fact, the confirmation of that impression that I have since the beginning. The fact that everything is bigger, that for now, we just began, in fact, the journey of our guys, like, we were fighting demons just to fight demons, but really without seeing the big picture behind that, what really we had to do to fight Mulan, to do things with that. Like, just the fact that we had the answer about the blood that they took, it was at the end of the season 2. They just had the answer about it at the end of this new season. Like, for me, we need more answers, we need more information and explanations, because clearly it's just the top of the type of the iceberg, you know, that expression that we have, that we know. We need so many explanations about Tanjiro's dad, about the sun breathing technique, about all of that. So that's why I have trouble really to predict what is gonna happen. It's more like I have some theories and I know what I want for the future, you know, what I want, like, as answers. But I really don't know what they're gonna offer me, because I don't know what information I miss. I don't know if I'm clear about that. But that's how I feel. But it's better, you know, like right now to have a break before the next season, it's better for now. There was a tiny teaser trailer already released, but it was basically just a poster. Yes, like also the tiny teaser trailer that they made for Avatar The Last Airbender, you know, for the show that we're gonna have. Like, really, when I saw, that's it, we have a trailer for Avatar The Last Airbender, I was really like, oh, that's gonna be awesome and all. And you know, I almost prepared myself, my camera and all, to film my reactions to it. And then I saw how short it was. And with the announce, you know, of it, we had already a picture, you know, about what was gonna be into it. And I was like, careful, try the first seconds, you know, before, you know, filming everything. And clearly, it was nothing. It was nothing about the show. Like, they showed us something that they could have created years ago without even knowing that they would make a show about it. Do you understand what I mean? They just made images about the different bendings, and without really explaining them. Like, even someone who doesn't know anything about Avatar The Last Airbender, watching that is gonna be like, cool for you guys, but what is happening truly, I don't know. That's not a teaser, that's not a trailer, I'm not accepting it. But I cannot wait. to have real pictures about it. I cannot wait. You could just see the thumbnail itself and won't really miss anything else. Yes, it was that. But you know, it was around the same time when they released the teaser trailer about One Piece, about the show One Piece. So I was really like, we're gonna have something. I was really excited and impatient, and it didn't last for a long time. Are you gonna watch it? The show about One Piece? You know that I didn't read the manga, I didn't watch the anime, we already talked about it a lot, but I saw that a lot of fans watching this teaser, you know, this trailer, they were really like, nah. Like, okay, I see what you're doing and that you want to do things great, but not feeling it. And they were blaming a lot, you know, I was gonna say the casting. Not the casting, but the voices and all, like that it was weird for them to have different voices. And for that, you know, apparently the French version, at least the French voices, were fitting really more with the French version of One Piece, the anime. I'm wondering if they made it on purpose, you know, they could choose voices which are really like the one from the animes. That's something, you know, that the adaptation in other languages they can do. Unlikely, I heard how long One Piece is. Oh, you didn't watch it, you know, the anime? I thought that maybe it was your case. Yes, that's why also I'm not trying it. I said it at multiple occasions, you know, with these live sessions. I thought about it, I saw the number of episodes, I gave up. Like, really, it was a 20 seconds question into my mind. Am I gonna react one day to One Piece? Nope! Already, see, to react to My Hero Academia, it's not a lot of seasons, but it's already some, you know, and it's long seasons, and it's already taking me that much time. And One Piece, it's 10 times, 12 times, you know, that number of episodes, something like that. So really, I can't do that, guys. I love you, but I can't. But yes, Avatar: The Last Airbender, that show, for sure, I'm gonna watch it, for sure. Like, I think all of the fans, I have a lot of expectations for it. The fact that still, you know, months, years, I think that for me now it has been at least 1 year that I binge watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm still thinking of it, I'm still in love with it, I still have, you know, emotions talking about this show, talking about these characters. I can imagine that it's the same or it's even more than that for people who discovered it when it was out. So I think that all of the fans are gonna have a lot of expectations for this show, and I really hope that they're gonna please us. Like, I hope also that the fans, they're gonna consider the show for what it is, you know, a show, and they're gonna give it a chance, the benefits of the doubt, something like that. We'll see about it. I prepared some little TikToks for this summer, you know. If I don't have anything to post about Avatar: The Last Airbender, about something around it. Just like that. Some peaceful videos, you know, to change. To not have me crying and crying again. And on my TikTok, the video, you know, which is the most watched, it's about Avatar: The Last Airbender and Iroh. Iroh going to see his son, this tree, and how much I cried. And really, people loved it a lot. Oh no, it was not that. It's this video about House of the Dragon, but you know, it was really that video about House of the Dragon. Like, really, a lot of people saw it in just a few days, when really, for Avatar: The Last Airbender, still now I have people watching it, liking it and all. this community, you know, for Avatar The Last Airbender, it's really the best. I discovered a new community with The Wire, with reacting to The Wire. I don't think that both of you are watching my reaction videos about The Wire. No matter what, if you never watched this show, I'm encouraging you to watch it because it's such a good one. I cried for it, that's it. Like, for the last episode of the season 1, I had to make a break because I was crying too much. It's telling you a lot, you know, about me, about how much I fall for it, and that maybe it can please you also. If you're used to love some shows and animes with me, guys. I haven't seen it, but I want to one day. Really try it. You know, it's an old show in the sense that it's made like the old shows, meaning without musics, always at the back, you know, without making each scene important, you know, with a lot of actions into it and stuff like that. And for that, it can seem a little slow, maybe, at some moments, if you are used to watch new show. I don't know how to say it in another way, but it's such a good one. Me, it's not bothering me at all, because I love so many old shows like that, like The West Wing, for example. It's one of my favorite shows all time. And The Soprano also, it was one of my favorites, so clearly, it doesn't bother me, but if you're giving it a try, before beginning the show, you know, take that in consideration. That it's not going to be the show which is going to stimulate you at each scene or something like that. It can be a little slow sometimes, but it's also to build things, to build the case, to build your love for these characters. And I'm saying your love, and at the same time I said it, one of the things that I prefer with The Wire is the fact that they are making characters that you're gonna fall in love with, but they are not good guys. There is no good guy, there is no bad guy. Each one of them, the cops, like the drug dealers, at some point you're gonna love them and you're gonna hate them, you're gonna disapprove so much what they're gonna do, you're gonna be mad at them. But still, at the end of everything, you're gonna love these characters because they're interesting or just because they got you, you know. They're into your heart no matter what. It's like that with The Wire, and that's why I cried. That was so rough. And I just began the season 2 to watch the first episode of the season 2. I have a lot of advance on my videos just to really enjoy my week of holidays, you know, when I'm gonna take it. And so when I'm gonna come back from it, I can, you know, come back to work to make these videos without having a lot of pressure, knowing that I have some advance for these videos. I'm working hard for you guys. You don't know it, but these last days, weeks, I'm working hard for you to give you videos, even if I'm taking holidays, and to be sure that you're not gonna feel the fact that I'm taking some holidays. That's gonna be cool. I'm gonna go at the beach with my family, with my nephew, my sister, and my dad. That's gonna be so cool. It has been a long time. Are you taking some vacations, you know, this summer? I hope so for you guys. Oh, girl, if you're beginning your new job, maybe not. But I think that I saw you at the beach, no? Some days ago on Twitter. I think so. You know, you're a few to talk with me on private messages, on Twitter and stuff like that, so I'm trying my best to remember everything about everyone. Sometimes I have some issues, but I think that I remember that. I just got back from my vacation. See? Knew it. Remembered it. Cool. I hope that you enjoyed it. That it was not too hot also. Like, for now, today, it's okay right there, but that's it. This summer, you're gonna have me complaining about the hot temperatures again, because I have the same issue again into my apartment. I already cried twice because of it, because each time, you know, I'm calling people who are supposed to do something about it, and each time they are telling me, we're gonna do something about it. When? Maybe we're gonna need to call some people, maybe we're gonna need to wait for all of, the people who are really owning the apartments to reunite, to have their meetings. So in some months, you can't imagine how frustrating it is for me. And I really have an issue, in fact, into my personal life. I think that I explained it on Twitter. I have really an issue with things which are unfair. That's really a feeling that I can't deal with. It's going also with the fact that I'm an emotional person, I'm hypersensitive, I'm saying it to you each time, like I was diagnosed like that. And most of the time, 95% of the time, I know how to deal with my emotions, to keep them inside, to calm them, to, think clear and stuff like that. And sometimes, some things can wake up that part of me, and can provoke some crisis. And some feelings, in particular, that I don't know how to deal with. And clearly, things which are unfair, that's a feeling that I can't handle, and it's really like my brain can't process the information. My brain can't deal with the stuff, like it's freezing inside of my brain, inside of my mind. I can't understand. I have an issue. You can find a solution, but no. It's not like I'm mad and stuff like that. It's really like, at the end of things, I'm mad. But it's really, during that moment, I'm just freezing because I don't understand, and I have that feeling, of things being unfair and me paying for it. It's really like I'm a little girl again during this moment. Sorry, maybe I'm bothering you with my personal stuff. You controlled your emotions very well when Nezuko was burning. You think, or are you ironic a little aussi? I think that you're a little ironic saying that, no? I tried to control them by telling to myself, no, it's not possible, no, it's not gonna help. Being in denial, it can help me to control my emotions. But I'm not doing it into my personal life, to be in denial. Imagine, into my real life, when something bad is happening to me and all, I'm putting myself into a big denial just to not have to deal with these emotions. Oh, my life would be hell, if I would do that into real life. No, I was not controlling my emotions at all when Nezuko was burning. I was trying to control them. I was putting myself into that big denial that I'm used to have. And really, my mojo about eyes closed, body cords, it saved me so many times from losing it totally. And some others, not at all. Like right there for Nezuko, I couldn't apply that rule, with a demon. So it was really like, I didn't see her disappearing in ashes, so no, she's not dead. It was more like that. But yes, I'm thinking about Demon Slayer, but also about My Hero Academia. I didn't finish my sentence, earlier, about the fact that now, from where I am, into that binge watching, I'm mostly afraid of Stein's speech, ideas, convincing a lot of people, and not only people who were already villains who are gonna join the League of Villains, but also random people, people with quirks who are gonna join the League of Villains even if before they were not villains, just because they are convinced. And also, I'm afraid of random citizens who are not gonna join the League of Villains, but still who are gonna approve that. And I think that, in fact, it's the worst. It's the worst to have the public, the crowd, the population approving these ideas, and because of that, we are gonna say that everything that the League of Villains is gonna do, that's gonna be okay. I'm a little afraid of it. We'll see how it's gonna be. But it's beginning to be bigger also, My Hero Academia. I can feel it. And even more with really the last episode that I watched, which was about the explanation of... Oh, I never know. One for all? All for one? No, it's one for all. The one that Deku has, it's one for all. That's it. I had the explanation of it. The master, his brother. That was a lot of information, but it confirmed me, that it's bigger than I think for now, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger with time. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I cannot wait. But also with the fact that this anime is not afraid of hurting that much these characters, hurting them so badly, I'm afraid that at some point we're gonna lose people. I'm not prepared for that, clearly. And I have trouble to imagine who it could be, the first one to die or something like that. I don't want to think about it, in fact. No, the only one that I think, who can die soon, it's All Might, but I'm saying it since episodes now. The fact that he's beginning to be weaker, the fact that Deku, is beginning to get stronger, and all of that about that quirk, and also just the fact that he's his mentor, and that I have also that rule about when you have a mentor into a show, into an anime, into a movie, each time the mentor has to die at some point. It's like that, to die or to disappear so the real hero can shine. It's like that. Even in Harry Potter, it was the case, okay? If you're not convinced by that rule, by that thing, think about it. In Harry Potter, even in that kind of movies, even if you're thinking about Hunger Games, for example, the guy who was making her dress, he died. Like, I'm sorry, I hope that you already saw these movies, read these books, and that I'm not giving you any big spoiler right there. But each time it's a case. Even in The Lord of the Rings, he died also at some point. You know who. I'm stressed now maybe to say something bad. The mentor always has to die or to disappear at some point. It's like that. It's a rule. I'm thinking maybe Star Wars didn't do that. For example, with Yoda. Oh, yes, it did. Just to say that it's like that in each show, each movie. When you have, a student, a young person who is learning a lot from someone else, that someone else, you can be sure that at some point it's gonna be bad. Oh, did you watch Black Mirror? Maybe we can talk about Black Mirror also, the new season. Did you watch it? Did you appreciate it? It was a good season, I really loved it. But I can understand why some people, they didn't appreciate it that much. For example, I talked about it, with my brother each time. And he told me, like, they're losing it, right? Like, they're going really in weird directions. Each time, that I want the opinion of someone, I was going to say a random person. My brother is not a random person, but, the opinion that everyone has most of the time, I'm going to my brother. Seen Harry Potter and Hunger Games, but not Lord of the Rings. Cool! So I didn't spoil you anything. You know, I began to be careful when I talked about Lord of the Rings. Cool. But yes, Black Mirror, the new season was great. But I think that during this season, they said, you know, that to take a technological subject, you know, and to make a story around it, to denounce also society subjects and stuff like that, they did it during all of these seasons, but at some point it has some limits and they're more gonna turn around society subjects themselves, you know, and also they're gonna go on the fantastic path. And I think that I broke the code about it. I said it in the description, I think, of this video, of the last episode of the season. I broke the code about it. Each time that during one episode of Black Mirror, at the beginning, you know, we're gonna have one of the main characters pricking, you know, his or her finger, you know, some blood on her or his finger. You can be sure that it's gonna be a fantastic episode. I'm pretty sure that I'm right with that. And I'm really proud of myself, you know, that I noticed that Harry Potter was my old childhood. Same, really same. I didn't write fanfics about Harry Potter at all. Not at all. And you heard it, I said fanfics, plural. Oh, that was so great, Harry Potter. And really, when I discovered it, it's a little fun, you know, because my mother, she bought me the second book, you know, The Chamber of Secrets. And I didn't know that I could have, you know, the book before, and that even, you know, there was a book before. I was really young, so I didn't know about it. And I was just reading the same book again and again, you know, that second book about the Chamber of Secrets. And it's really when it began to fall apart that I went to my mother and I said, Mom, you know, it's falling apart, it's destroyed and stuff like that. Maybe we can find another one. So she checked and she saw that, in fact, I think that the 4 or 5 first books were already out. So really, when I discovered that, I was like, oh, so many things to read. When I was younger, Hermione was my celebrity crush. For sure it was. So many of you guys. And the actress also, like Emma Watson, she was the crush of so many guys when the first and even the last movies were out. I never had a crush on Harry himself. A little with Ron, but at the same time, you know, I was like, oh, he's so nice, so cute, but I wanted him with Hermione, like I didn't want him for myself, not at all. Maybe I had a crush on Draco more. If you're wondering, you know, right there, I'm forcing myself to pronounce their names in English because, except for that, it's Hermione. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm angry. Hermione, Ron, Drago in French. Harry, it's Harry. Harry, it's a little the same. But some of the big names, you know, they changed it also. For example, Snape, you have Snape in English, and in French it's Severus Rogue. It's not the same at all. A lot of guys liked Hermione, a lot of girls liked Draco. It's the cliché stuff, you know, a lot of guys were falling in love with the clever girl when in real life it was never the case, and a lot of girls were falling in love with the bad guy when in real life it was never the case. You can see it like that also, you know. It's like that. It was cool, Harry Potter, for sure. I'm wondering, you know, about other shows and animes that we can talk about. Oh, The Walking Dead, Dead City. Are you watching it also? Oh, I think that we lost Ariana, maybe. The Walking Dead, Dead City, it's clearly... Oh no, you're still there, girl. It's OC that we miss. That's really interesting. I want to see the names in other languages now. Yes, for Harry Potter, they really changed a lot of names. And you know, it's really fun because I think that for us, it's Severus Rogue. For you, it's Snape. And Rogue, I think that it's your name for one of the X-Men. And for us, this X-Men, it's named another way. Like, I really have some issues to understand why they change the names like that sometimes. Sometimes I can totally understand it, like for example, for the names of the different houses in Hogwarts. You have Hogwarts, for us it's Poudlard. And for sure we don't have the same names for all of these different houses, but it's logical because the names, you know, it's dependent with the animals and stuff like that, so for sure it's gonna be different. But yes, it's fun. When you know it, it's fun. But that's why, you know, at some point I was wondering about reading the books in English, and I was like, no, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a little weird. Some of their names didn't change, you know, for example, Voldemort. Voldemort for you, it didn't change. I'm wondering, you know, what other names, you know, of characters that they changed. Dumbledore, it stayed like that. Wondering. Neville. I can't remember the name for Neville for you in English, but for us it's Londuba. And for you, I think that it's different. Oh, thought I was going to be too late. Hope all is well. Hello, Frosiak. How are you? Are you okay? No, you're not too late. Like, we're talking for at least 1 hour, but if it's the same than the last times, maybe it can be longer than that, you know. We talked about a lot of stuff, and right there you are taking us into the middle of a conversation about Harry Potter, about the fact that we began the conversation because I was talking about the fact that in each show, anime, and movie, at some point the mentor has to die, and that's one of my big theories for everything, and I was explaining that for My Hero Academia in particular, for All Might. And because of that, we talked about Harry Potter, about the first books, and about the fact that in French, it's different names for some of the characters, even important ones. And I was quoting, you know, the fact that for Severus Snape for you, it's in fact Severus Rogue in French. I'm gonna say it to you, you know, like the voice that you can have in train and yes, into some bus and into some subway. Severus Rogue. Yes, it's long bottom for you in English. For us, it's Londuba. It's logical, you know, it's a translation of it, and it's logical that it's not the same name for the different houses, for also Hogwarts, for us it's Poudlard, and for a lot of places like that. But for main characters, sometimes it's a little weird that they changed it. Peter Pettigrew, for you it's a little the same, for us it's like that. Lupin, it's the same. Are you saying Lupin? No, Lupin. For Remus. Sirius Black, it's the same. I'm wondering if I'm finding another one, I would tell you. But that's why, you know, when I was a teenager, when I was writing some fanfics about Harry Potter, I was not putting myself in a Ravenclaw, but I was putting myself into Serre d'Aigle. But now, you know, with time, I thought about it, and I think that I'm more a Gryffindor in French. I think that I'm more a Gryffindor, in fact, than a Ravenclaw. at least now as an adult, how I am right now and all my, I was gonna say my attitude, my personality and all of that, I think that I'm more a Gryffindor. What are you guys? I'm wondering don't tell me. I think that Ossie is gonna say that he's a Slytherin. Ariana, I would put you with me in Gryffindor, I think. Frosiak, I don't know. I don't know for you. Maybe I don't know enough of you to say that. But I think that yes, Ariana, I would put you in Gryffindor. I think that it's a little the same, than for Avatar The Last Airbender. We all wondered, at some point in which house we would end. Yes, I really think so, that you would be in Gryffindor. You would have put yourself where? Don't be flattered, come on. No, I really think so. I'm a Gryffindor. See? I said something wrong. I'm sorry for that. You're a Gryffindor too? Go. Oh, really? We're gonna have some fun into that house together? You're a Ravenclaw? For sure. Also, I can understand why you put yourself in Ravenclaw. Serre d'Aigle in French. I remember you that. It's not the best name that they chose. The weirdest one, it's for Hufflepuff, for you in English. For us, it's Pouf Souffle. It's really weird. I'm sorry, really, we're talking about different things right there. If you came, to talk already about one show or one anime in particular, don't hesitate to redirect the discussion for that. Don't hesitate. You know me, I can talk for entire hours about different subjects, really. I don't need to be pushed too much. You're listening for Pouf Souffle? And also Hogwarts, for you, the name of the school. I think that it looks great, it looks well, it looks like something for an elite, something like that. In French, it's Poudlard. And if you're taking the significations of each word, pou and lard, it's really not that great. I don't even know how to translate that. Pou, it's, things that you can have on your head, and it's not that great. If it's functioning, I'm gonna tell you that. Pou, it seems that you're translating it by loose. And la, yes, I should have guessed it, it's bacon. In fact, it's the name that we're giving to bacon, to meat, to that form of meat. So really, I prefer Hogwarts, in fact. Pou, I don't know if I have the right translation for that. Loose, yes, loose. That insect that you can have into your hair when you're a kid, mostly when you're a kid. I need to regroup. So yes, none of you watched the last season, the new season of Black Mirror? None of you watched it? I was wondering about that. To talk about it, if you guys, you appreciate, the direction that they are taking or not. I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter about fans who are really divided about it and who don't know. Oh, I got to episode 2, need to continue. Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil you what is gonna happen next or anything like that. But maybe you already saw some things about it. How did you find the season? I also heard mixed things. I found it great, really. I'm thinking, before talking, to not tell you any spoilers. I find it great because it's what Black Mirror is doing, to take a technological subject, to take something and to create a story around that and to write it so well. And it's also beautiful pictures, it's well done, it's well played, it's amazing. So for me, as long as they are continuing to do that, to take at the beginning a technological subject or something else, and you're gonna discover that when you're gonna continue the season, they are taking that subject and around it they are building stuff to discuss about society subjects, to go deep with characters and stuff like that. As long as they are continuing with that, I'm okay with it. But I think, that maybe a lot of fans, they took Black Mirror by saying, okay, this is gonna be the show in which they're gonna denounce technological stuff. And really, they resumed that show with that. And I think that the fans who resumed that show with that, who are expecting just that, who are watching it just for that, they are the fans who were disappointed by this season, at least by how it's gonna end. How it ended, I'm sorry. I think that it's mostly because of that. See, I tried my best to not tell you any spoilers. I hope that I did it okay. But if you got to episode 2, I think that's it. You watch the episodes that I preferred into that season. The dark episode. The family episode. Oh, I don't know how to say it in another way to not spoil things. No, it was a good season. For me, it was a good season. The showrunner said the same thing, that Black Mirror is that technology bad, but about human nature or something. Yes, I really think so. But I think that by giving only that to the viewers for entire seasons, by advertising also their show with only that during entire years, like really, because of that, I think that to transform, that idea into the heads of all of these fans, it's gonna be difficult, because during entire years, we only had that in mind about Black Mirror. It was not my case, because you know me, you know that I love to analyze everything, so I saw a lot of more things into Black Mirror, and I'm not the only one, so I think that a lot of fans are like me, but I think that the majority of fans, they didn't consider it like that. They were really watching this show to be like, okay, this is a show to denounce technological stuff and all of that. And some of these people, they are saying that this show, should continue to do that it's weird that they're not going to continue to do that really with our societies changing that much and all, they're always going to find stories, to build around that. And I'm not so sure, in fact, because, like, for the subjects that they explored during the 2 first episodes that you watched, they talked about new stuff, they talked about IA, for example, about the fact that you're putting your life online, but you don't want, in fact, for people to watch all of your life just like that, like it would really bother you, in fact, about also multiverse and stuff like that. They talked also about all of these platforms on which you have a lot of documentaries about dark stuff and all, and that it can encourage people. Like, they talked about a lot of stuff like that, and that's great, but they talked already during all of these seasons about so many subjects. Like, can they really create that much, around it without having the impression that they are repeating themselves? I think that this show, these writers and this showrunner, they really have that in mind, the fact that they don't want to repeat themselves. If they created a story around one subject, they don't see the point, of creating other stories around the same subject. So that's why I don't think that they can come back, to create other stories, for example, around humanoid robots, like they already did one, during this season, but the real subject was not about that, but still they did it, and they found a way to create something else and all, but it's really difficult, in fact. So that's why it's not a surprise for me that they can choose another direction for some episodes, and it can be logical. It's not gonna bother me, but I understand why it can bother people from where it's coming, I can understand that. Reading again the previous messages, Frosiak, you didn't tell from which house you were in Harry Potter. I didn't forget. If you want to say, and if you know Harry Potter also. Yes, you knew for Neville his real last name, so you know. Oh, I'm sorry. I have one of my neighbors sending me a message. I'm just checking to be sure that she's not blocked, at her door or something like that. Ooh. Okay, well, I will respond to her later. She has an issue, with people who are dealing with our apartment again. Hufflepuff, you think? Okay. See, it's helping me to know you better. Hufflepuff. But yes, Black Mirror, it was great. It's great also to react to Black Mirror and to post these videos because it's Netflix shows, and I'm saying it each time, to react to Netflix stuff. It's really great, as a reactor, it's great because you know that Netflix, okay, they're gonna bother you a little with the videos, but at the end of things, they're gonna release their claims and stuff like that because they're playing fair with reactors who are playing fair with them. And it's so great, to feel respected by a platform. It's so great. I love The Wire, so sorry if you talked about it already, but how are you feeling about it? I talked about it really just a little, just to convince the two other ones to watch it. And how am I feeling? I watched the end of the season. I had to make a break because I was crying too much. Oh, I'm sorry for those of you who have earrings, maybe it was too much. But yes. So how am I feeling? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. It's a good show. I love it. I love the characters. The end of the season. It's okay for me to talk about it. Like, you guys, you can spoil me this show, but I can't spoil you this show, I think, at this point. Or maybe, yes, for Ariana and Ossie who didn't watch it. Like, I think that you can guess for which character I cried at the end of the season. It was rough. But I began the new season. I just watched the first episode of the new season, and it's cool. It's really cool. It's gonna be rough because it's not gonna be about drugs anymore. It's gonna be about prostitution, about selling women and stuff like that. So I think that it's gonna be really more difficult to discuss about it, to have our guys working on that case. But that's gonna be great. And something that I didn't expect, it's really to keep, in fact, the first case and a lot of the characters from the season 1, like we're gonna continue to follow them and all. It's cool, it's really cool, but I did not expect that it would be like that. I mean, I just watched the first episode, but I have the impression that it's gonna be half, for the time that they're gonna have on screen. The new case and the old case. It's cool, but I didn't expect it. But for sure, I loved to begin this show, and now that's it, I love it. And so far, so good for reacting to it. Yep. So normally I'm gonna continue to react to it, at least for this season 2, and each time, at each beginning of each new season, I think that I'm gonna be stressed about it, like, how is it? How is it? Is it functioning or not? But yes, I love it. And I loved also to discover the community around The Wire, even if they were only present for the first episode of the first season. I think that they were enthusiastic, that someone would discover that new show, but they didn't stay with me. I don't know why, but maybe one day they're gonna come back, But just to discover that community and to see how enthusiastic they were, how reactive they were, and all of that, that was so fun. And I said it in one of the videos, in intro or review, I said it reminded me a lot when I met the community around The Expanse, and that was such a good feeling, a great feeling. I loved it, truly. Maybe one day they're gonna come back. When they're gonna see that I'm really serious about this show and I'm gonna react to it for real, maybe they're gonna come back. And one of these accounts, one of these fan accounts on Twitter spoiled me something, but in fact, it was so cryptid and all of that it didn't ruin anything for me, so that was cool. But that thing, I can tell it to you because the other ones, they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry, there is a plane just right there. The two other ones, they didn't watch The Wire, so I'm not going to spoil anything for them. That spoiler, that sentence that person told me, it was, oh, in fact, Shorty is a cop. And really, when that person told me that on Twitter, I was like, fuck, you just ruined the character for me. It means that soon, maybe... I mean, I didn't say that to that person, but I thought about it like, when I'm gonna meet that Shorty, I'm gonna know that that person was a cop since the beginning. That's bad. Maybe it ruined me something. So I asked the question to that person. I was like, is it a real spoiler? Is it a real thing? Because during that moment, for me, Shorty, it was the girl, that Dee threatened a little, with the egg stuff. So I was really bothered by that. And that person told me, no, don't worry, it's just a line and you're gonna discover what it is truly when it's gonna happen. And I discovered it. That was fun. I mean, that was fun during that moment, but really, just a little earlier, it was not fun at all. I hope they come back maybe for some big episodes and then binge you after that. Expanse community is too wonderful. I think that it can be the case, I saw that, for example, for the last episode that I posted, in which, on the picture, you can see that I cried. Some of them, they came back. So I think that right there, it was for a random episode, but I think that, yes, for some big episodes, maybe they can come back. And I saw also that the girls from LM Reactions, they began to react to The Wire really the same week than me. We didn't talk about it at all, like it was not something prepared and nothing like that, but it was fun. The fact that at the same time we decided to react to it, I think that them, like me, each time that we are posting something, in fact, it's prepared since a long time, for us to react to it. So it was fun to think that, at the same time, we wanted to react to it. And yes, the Expanse community is wonderful, welcoming, so nice, and all of that. I was gonna say it's one of the best. I think that it's the best community that I met with my channel. Dragon Prince when? First, hello my dear. I didn't know that you were right there. And what do you mean by Dragon Prince? What is it? I can't remember. Maybe it's a show that you talked to me about, maybe? I'm sorry if it's the case, I forgot. I just got in, I'm pretty drunk. Be careful, Ferdinand, be careful. Yep, and I'm on season 2, episode 4 on Patreon. What a coincidence. I also think Expanse is the best. I still see them on other smaller channels. For The Expanse, it's pretty cool that people are still discovering it, and now that they have everything that they can binge watch, it's really cool for them, and also really cool for the community of fans, because it means that they're gonna have something, to watch for a long time with someone, and someone new is gonna experience all of that for the first time, so it's really cool. I didn't know that the girls, they were so much in advance, for their Patreon. It's not my case. But yes, that was a great coincidence. Dragon Prince is a Netflix original from the creators of Avatar. Okay, but did you talk about it with me? Are you sure of that? I have the impression that it's the first time that I'm reading that info. I miss The Expanse. No, don't worry, you didn't miss it. We're just talking about it right now, and I didn't plan to talk about it, but we can always talk about The Expanse. You know how it is with me. And I talked earlier about Avatar The Last Airbender, about the fact that the teaser, the trailer that they made for us, no, it was not a real teaser, it was not a real trailer. I'm not accepting it like that. It was really something that they prepared months ago. That was something which is showing nothing about the show that they are preparing. It was something, that they could have created when the first show was out. Like, really, it was nothing. I'm not accepting it as a trailer. I want a real trailer. I want real pictures. And for the casting that they chose to play these characters, I saw some pictures and all. And for me, for now, it's okay. Did you ever watch the Avatar movie? No! I refuse! Really, when I finished my binge watching of the show, you guys, so many of you told me to not watch it, that it was so bad, that it ruined you some things and all. You guys, you were really mad at it, and you told me how much and for what reasons. And some others, of you guys, you were telling me, watch it, it's gonna be fun for us to know that you watched it, film your reactions, we're gonna see you being so disappointed at all. No! I'm not gonna watch it with you or without you. Never. I need to see your pain to that. See, you were one of them. You were one of those telling me to watch it just to see me being disappointed. No! It's so bad. Savor the pain. Thank you. Save me that pain. Come on. But count on me to watch this show. We don't know yet if it's gonna be good or bad, but count on me to watch it. And yes, I was saying, what I saw of it so far, it looks good. At least, this actor to play Iroh, it's okay for me. I don't know how he's gonna play him, and I hope that he's gonna play him well. But for his look, at least, for his appearance, it's working for me. It's okay if it's so bad that you can lose about it. But it does the one thing... But it does the one thing a piece of entertainment should never do, be so freaking boring. I'm not sure. Maybe if one day I'm really that sick, that I need something to make me sleep, maybe something like that. No, not even that, because I think that I would be so mad, so, frustrated and all, being so annoyed that it wouldn't work to make me sleep. But yes, that show, we are all waiting for it. Do we know really when we're gonna have it? I think that they never announced a really, a release date, like really something like that. They never said so. I think that for now they are putting really all of their efforts. I'm thinking, about marketing stuff and all the production around it. I think that for now they are really putting everything on One Piece, on helping that one to be out, to be accepted by the fans and all. That for now they are not considering that much Avatar The Last Airbender. I can understand why. The community of One Piece is really passionate and really loud. But the community of Avatar The Last Airbender is also really passionate. And I think that maybe it's gonna be a community which is gonna be nicer, in fact. Because we already had, even if I didn't watch it, we already had that awful movie. So I think that everything else, in comparison of it, is gonna be great. No date yet for Avatar, going to be next year. That's gonna be cool. I feel like as long as it's better than the movie that should not be named, people will be happy. Yes, movie that should not be named. Like not so long ago, we were talking about Harry Potter, so it's really fun that you are saying that, Ferdinand. But yes, I think that for sure, because of the movie, people are gonna be nicer, the fans of Avatar The Last Airbender. But also, no matter what, I think that it's a community which is nicer no matter what. Like the community of One Piece, I don't know them, but if it's the same community, then, for some animes that I watched, like for Attack on Titan or for Death Note, I had some fans which were not really that nice, on the comments. For Demon Slayer, also a little, but it was not the same kind of bad comments that I had. It was more comments, of frustrated people. When for Attack on Titan and Death Note, it was really mad, angry comments, People were mad, were angry at what I was saying, were not accepting, a different point of view. So I'm thinking that these people, they wouldn't accept also a different way to represent, their animes on screen or something like that. Like, it's a lack of tolerance, in fact. So if they can have that for a random reactor, imagine the lack of tolerance that they could have for a movie or for a new show about their animes. Yes, I can have some bad comments. It's rare. I don't want for you to think that each day that I'm connecting to YouTube, I have these bad comments and stuff like that. It's not the case. Luckily, it's not the case. But sometimes I can have some, and when I was reacting to Death Note and to Attack on Titan, I had some really because it's passionate fans, and that's something that I can respect. But there. I'm late to the party, so maybe you've talked about this already, but I'm really excited for you to discover My Hero Academia more. I talked about it a little. I talked about the next episodes that you're gonna discover during the next week, about the fact that this fight between Ida and Stein, it was rough for me, but now, for me, where I'm standing into the binge watching, I ended that fight, and I'm really more afraid of what is gonna happen, the fact that Stein, his ideas, they were not that bad, he said some right stuff, but for sure the way of that he used, to do stuff, that was bad. But these ideas, convincing people to join the League of Villains or to follow the League of Villains or to agree with what the League of Villains is gonna do in the future, I'm worried of that. I'm really worried for that, like, that can be bad. Yes, you're saying yes to what? To the fact that it was rough for me, that fight? I loved Stein, he was such a complex character. He's a complex character, but he's also a great one because of the fact that his ideas are based on the big idea about what heroes are supposed to be for people, for the community, the fact that they are supposed to represent, something great, something amazing. They are supposed to be perfect, meaning that they're not supposed to do anything personal, anything illegal. So for that, basing all of what he's doing on these ideas, that's interesting, and because of that, he can convince people. I had to get up for about 20 minutes, but before I did the test on the official Wizarding World site, yes, I tried the test multiple times, and every time I got Gryffindor. Cool, you're a Gryffindor. I got a dog for my Patronus, and I forgot my wand. It's not something that amazing, to make the test about your wand, but the thing about your Patronus, that's interesting that you have a dog. I can't remember what did I have when I took the test. I think that... I don't have the translation for it. Un renard in French. In English... a fox! I'm stupid. It was a white fox, I think, that I had when I passed that test, but it was a long time ago. You mentioned before that you got spoiled for Demon Slayer. What was the spoiler? First I'm reading. Mine is a buffalo. Odd choice for me. A buffalo? I didn't even know that they put that one into it. I'm so jealous. I love foxes. Yes, I was glad when they showed me the fox, I was really glad. I was afraid to have something, a little random, like, a rat or something like that. I was a little afraid of that, so I was glad, when I had that fox. About Demon Slayer, yes, I got some spoilers, and I didn't read them, not really, because, again, people who are telling spoilers on the comments, sorry to say it like that, but they are so fucking stupid, that really, at the beginning of their comments, I know that it's gonna be a spoiler, because these persons, they are so fans of themselves, that they want to tell you, like, really, since the beginning, how stupid you are, and that the truth is that and that. So clearly I can guess really easily that I'm not gonna like that comment, it's gonna be a spoiler with comments, and if I have a doubt, there is no doubt, I'm deleting the comments. But these spoilers, for what I understood, and for maybe one that I read, almost read, it was about the names, and about the fact that I misunderstood something about, the first flashback that we had with that wielder who was visiting someone looking like Tanjiro, and at first I said that it was his dad. Then a little later on the same video, I totally said, understood that it couldn't be the case, for chronological reasons. But people that are not listening, that kind of people are not listening to my intros and reviews. So they were so proud of themselves, to come on the comments and to tell me, you're so stupid, you didn't understand, it was not his dad, it was na who is related to na. So that's it, it was that kind of spoilers, that they were trying to tell me during that particular episode, and that I just deleted just like that. I think I tried 4 accounts with some different answers. All 4 I got Gryffindor, 3 I got a dog, 1 a dragonfly. Oh, that's cool, a dragonfly. Really, it means that it's you. It's you to be like that, to be from Gryffindor and to have a dog as a Patronus. It's logical, it seems logical for me. Most reactors had similar comments on the first episode. It made me embarrassed as a fan. I don't know about the other reactors because I didn't talk with any of them for Demon Slayer, so I can't tell. And for being embarrassed by that kind of comments, as a fan, don't be, because us reactors, we know how to make the difference, between the real community of fans and that kind of fans, who are there really just to be trolls or to tell how stupid we are or stuff like that. Like, really, we are making the difference, so don't be embarrassed for that and just ignore them like I try to do. Sometimes, it's a little difficult and I have to make a little warning reminder, at the beginning of the next video, because I need to remind to everyone that I'm French and you shouldn't bother me that much if you don't want me, to to get mad, and clearly you don't want that. French people getting mad, you don't want that. So sometimes I need to remind to people that. But most of the time I'm just deleting the comments and I'm not thinking about it twice. And I'm doing it for all comments, not only spoilers, not only that kind of trolls, but also, sometimes I have bad comments about my accent. For example, I can have also bad comments in the sense that I have people just talking about my outfit and do I have an OnlyFans or something like that. So really, that kind of comments, I'm reading them once, I'm deleting them, and I don't think about it again for the rest of the day, the rest of my life. Like, some of them, they are fun. Like, they are made, to make me mad, and in fact, they are making me less. Because when I have someone, just commenting, "Oh, your accent is so bad. I just heard oui, baguette, baguette, baguette," with the emojis, going with it. Like, I know that this comment was there to make me mad, to make me feel bad about my accent and stuff like that. But really, reading it, I'm just like, I'm losing. It's fun for me. Some of them are fun. See? I didn't even think about Ulo Kudaki dying. That would seem like a great tragedy for Tanjiro to work with. I hope that you didn't tell me a spoiler right there. For what is gonna happen in the future, all of that. That's it, you're putting baguettes. I shouldn't have said that. Now you're gonna put it, just as a joke between us. But the other ones, they're not gonna understand that it's a joke between us, and they're gonna really put them. But yes, these things, see, that was fun. That kind of comments, I'm not mad. I don't want to lose my time. Like, I think that it's something that I already told you in some intros and reviews, but like I said, maybe you're not listening to them, and that's okay, because sometimes I know that I'm making really long intros and long reviews, but I already said it, I have a rule, into my personal life. Do I have really the time, the energy to lose on some people, on some things like that? And do I want also to give some credits to that person or to that thing? And really, 95% of the time, the answer is no. And it helped me so much, to ask myself that question, to not enter into some arguments, some discussions with people who didn't deserve that, who didn't deserve my time, my energy, and for me to give them credit, by giving them that. Frankly, you'll see, if you're asking yourself that question into your life when you're into some discussions like that, and you can feel that the person just wants to argue, is just there for that. You just have to ask yourself that question, and really, you're just gonna forget about that person, that discussion really quickly. And for almost all of the trolls, all of these bad comments, I'm asking myself that question, and that's why I'm just deleting the comments and I'm not thinking about it twice. I think that I'm not answering to this person, directly anymore. At the beginning, I was doing it. I don't know why. Maybe because I was taking that more personally. But at the beginning, I was doing it. I was responding to these people. Like, I don't know if you guys, you were there. Maybe not. when I was reacting to The Expanse for a long time, for like one entire season or something like that, I had someone on the comments coming, in each comments sections to ask me. At first it was to tell me, oh, you're really responding to everyone, I want to see if you're gonna respond to that comment. So I responded to the first one, and after that I was like, maybe I'm not gonna respond, each time that you're asking me that. If you're just there to ask me that each time, at some point, it's gonna be annoying for you, for me, for people also who are gonna read these comments. And at some point, that person, into his head, I think that it was a guy, into his head, something changed, and that person was asking me on the comments, how would you feel if zombies, dead people, would lick your toes or something like that? I swear, that guy asked me once, that question on the comments, and I was like, okay, normally that person is right there. Okay, it's a little weird, his comments, but they are nice comments. At least they're okay, he's polite and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna delete his comment, but I'm not gonna respond to it. Like, what kind of question it is? And that person went mad, and on each new video of The Expanse, I was having, the same comments, and with him being mad and telling me, see, you're not responding to everyone because you didn't respond to my question about deaths licking your toes. How would you feel about it? And really, at some point, I answered, I think, twice maybe to that comment, saying, yes, I'm trying to answer to everyone because it's something that I want to make with you guys, to create a connection between us, because I love to talk about these shows with you guys and all. But right there, you're not talking about a show, you're asking me a question, and it's a weird question, and I don't want to answer to it, so no, I'm not gonna answer to it. And the guy, he continued, so at some point I had to delete, the other comments, because I was like, that's it, he had his answer, I'm not gonna answer. So if you're continuing, I don't think that's a good comment, even for your Walking Dead videos. But maybe, in fact, he was commenting also for The Walking Dead, but during that period of time, I was more reacting to The Expanse. So, he came on The Expanse on these comments. I can't remember, really how it happened and all, but I remember that it was for a long time, for an entire season, and that really, the guy was weird with that. And so at the beginning, we had that discussion about, you're not answering to all of the comments. After that, we had that weird question. I finished by answer that I'm not gonna answer. He continued to put the comments, so I was deleting it. And at some point, I was like, no, that's it. I'm not gonna accept that anymore. So I blocked him from my channel, and I think that he might be the only one that I blocked for that reason, because he was bothering me. The other ones that I'm blocking on my channel, it's mostly, spams, people who are just there to put their own channel, or porno stuff. Also, I had at some moments, a lot of porno spams. So that's really what I'm blocking, and I think that it's the only one that I blocked because he bothered me. And he tried still, we can give him that. He tried on Twitter, he went on my Twitter and he asked me the question on Twitter. Just once. I think that he did it just once, on Twitter. And one of you guys intervened, telling to the guy, stop, you need to stop. Like, really, you're awful, just stop. Yes, that was a lot weird. Yes, he acted like a child. I don't think that's a good comment, even for... So if you had to pick best boy ever between Tanjiro and Deku, who would you pick? That sounds like a stalker. Yes, a little. But I have some comments, like I said, about my outfits and stuff like that, and I'm just deleting them on my channel because I'm not there for that, clearly. But it's not stalkers, you know, I didn't have that kind of stuff. So far, so good. To choose between Tanjiro and Deku, really, you're asking me that? I don't want to choose. I think that they would be best friends. Maybe I don't want to choose really between these two. Maybe it would be more into that situation, who would I prefer with me? Maybe I can more answer like that, you know. Into that situation. Like, for example, if I have to go to a bar with someone, you know, to take a beer with someone between Deku and Tanjiro, I think that I would prefer Tanjiro. I don't know why, but asking myself the question right now, I think that I would prefer Tanjiro. Maybe because I think that he would came, you know, with Inosuke and with Zenitsu, and it would be so fun. You know, to take a beer with these three, it would be so fun. I can imagine, you know, a context for that and all, it would be fun. But for other things, you know, another context, I don't think Tanjiro would be allowed to enter the bar. Yes, he wouldn't, he's too young, but you've got what I mean. You know, if you have to have that kind of moments with someone, okay, let's not say a bar, to have a barbecue, you know, to have a barbecue moment with someone, I think that I would prefer Tanjiro. You know, because he would come with his crew. Oh, and I can imagine that it would be Inosuke, you know. I was gonna say burning. Cooking and all of that on the grill, I think that it would be Inosuke. It'd be too young. Yes, it'd be too young for sure. But I was thinking, you know, about different contexts, and don't ask me why the first one that I had on mind, it was to go to a bar to take a beer. And for Deku, what context? I can imagine. I don't know. Maybe to do something, you know, a sportive thing, you know, to go on a kayak session, or to do something like that, like just to go at the beach or something like that. I think that I would prefer Deku. Damn, I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about the last episode of Demon Slayer where they revealed that Nezuko was alive. That was so well executed. Yes, we talked a little about it earlier, about the fact that I controlled my feelings like that, you know, during that moment when she was burning. But yes, that reveal was pretty amazing, and it's still making me a little emotional. In fact, you know, what is making me the most emotional during this episode? For sure, Nezuko burning and all that was awful, but for me, the fact that Tanjiro, he had to give up on her while she was disappearing, it was not done yet, and he had to run, you know, to escape. He had to run away from her during that particular moment, thinking that she was dead. That is breaking my heart. Who is your favorite out of the final selection survivors? Survivors? You mean what? I don't understand. For which anime are you talking about? The survivors in Demon Slayer? In My Hero Academia? I'm not sure that I understand you right there aussi. I think that I'm sorry, I screamed. I think that that I understood you. You mean... Yes, okay, that's it. I've got what you meant. You mean, you know, that test, that exam that they all passed together, and okay. I didn't have, you know, the final selection. I didn't have the term, you know, for it inside of my mind, and I was like, what are we talking about? You want me to choose between them? For sure, I think that it's Tanjiro first. After that, it's Zenitsu. I know that a lot of people are finding him annoying, but I really love him. And also, I think he's amazing when he's fighting and all. I really appreciate him. And after that, I don't know after that. Inosuke is great for sure, he's so fun. And he can evolve also a lot, Inosuke. We didn't see a lot of Kanao, but she's so sweet. And Genya, we discovered some things about him right there during this season, but not enough for me to know enough about him also. Like, it's rough, to make after that, to rank them, it's hard. For sure, Tanjiro is first. Zenitsu, he has a special place, into my heart. But after that, it's rough for me to say. It's honestly hard for me. They are all close. I really love them all. I found Zenitsu really annoying, but I'm not gonna lie. I really missed him in the latest season. I relate to Zenitsu a lot. Oh, that's great. Because I really love Zenitsu, so that's great. He's a really sweet character, in fact, and okay, he can be annoying because he's complaining a lot, he's crying a lot, but at the end of everything, he's there for his friends, he's supporting them, he's nice, he's only nice, he wants to do the right things and stuff like that. How about Inosuke or Bakugo? Oh, you're asking that kind of question? Inosuke or Bakugo? They are so different. I can understand why you are putting them, against each other, but for me they are so different. It's really not the same thing. They are not arrogant, for the same reasons for me. Even if I didn't discover yet Bakugo's reasons, like that's it. I'm asking since so long now to have Bakugo's story, to have something about him and all. But for me, yes, they are not the same kind of arrogant, It's not the same. I think in a way Zenitsu is the deepest character. How his past made him lose self-confidence, how he underestimates himself despite how strong he can be. For sure. And for that he can remind me Armin, in Attack on Titan. For that part of this character. For sure Armin is really different, like he's braver and stuff like that. But in a sense, they are a little like each other for that. And maybe that's why I really appreciate him, because I loved also Armin for that, so maybe that's why. I don't know if he's really the deepest character, but in fact, he's the character who is expressing his feelings, the most. I'm not sure that I put the words at the good place into that sentence. I'm sorry for that. But that's why I think that I love him, because I can connect with him a lot for that, to be that emotional and all of that. And also, because of that, we know really how he's feeling and all. I've seen a lot of people compare Zenitsu and Armin. Really? Clearly, I had that idea in mind just by reading your description, for Zenitsu. So, it's the first time that I'm thinking about it, truly. I still haven't watched Attack on Titan yet, but one day. You have to! I screamed. You have to. You are gonna love it so much, girl. Oh, you're gonna love it. I swear on earth, you're gonna love it. For sure, prepare the tissues, but you're gonna love it. With all of the animes that you watch, you never watch this one. You have to watch it also, but I'm talking to Ariana because I know that she loves animes, a lot, and a lot of them. So I'm sure that you're gonna love it, Attack on Titan. Maybe you're not gonna be in love with characters like you are, like I can feel that you are for all of the animes that you are watching right now, but you're gonna love it, for sure, you're gonna love it. Not gonna lie, season 2 is pretty rough, but everything else is pretty good. I loved all of it. I had really no moments, in Attack on Titan in which, I was feeling that I had some issues and stuff like that. I loved everything. And I think that it was really one anime for me because all of that game, to try to understand what was happening, it's really an anime to make theories and to play to that game, to try to understand things, to connect dots, to pick up clues, to suspect people and all. It was an anime for me, guys, clearly. It would be fun, I think, for me, on my own, without filming it, but to rewatch some of my reactions, some of these videos about the first season that I made, because even if, it's not big episodes, like I don't want to see me being shocked and stuff like that. I want really to see my theories, where it began, for where it ended. Like, did I have some things right, Did I guess some things right? Even if I didn't know a lot of stuff, I think that I had some feelings which were right, some impressions about stuff which were right, but I couldn't guess what was truly happening because it was so big. Season 2 was the one with a lot of flashbacks. We had a lot of it, a lot of them, I mean. I only realized how bad it was when I rewatched it with friends. Maybe rewatching it, you can feel that some episodes are less interesting, less big, but it's not fair, to judge the show for how it's gonna be in the future or stuff like that, Do you think we will get another happy ending for the next season of Demon Slayer? For the next season, I think so, because of the fact that it's a short season, and the only thing that I know about it is the fact that we're gonna explore, each abilities. So I can't see, with a short season of 4 or 5 episodes, how bad, it can go so quickly. I can't see it. It would be really a shock, But for the season after that, I'm not sure. Because this anime proved that they can kill people easily, they can do really bad stuff to people, so... And with now Muzan himself, who is after Nezuko, with other upper rank demons who are gonna come, and not only one, not only two, but maybe more of them, at once, I think that it can go bad really quick. I mean, not into the next season, but the one after that. Was I the only one that expected someone to die in the recent season of Demon Slayer? That was not my case. I did not expect for anyone to die because of how the season was built, mostly. Because, we began the fight really early during the season. Each episode, was full of actions and stuff like that. So after that, each episode was a mix of informations, reveals, action moments. And each time, at the end of the episode, I was not feeling like, okay, that person can die and stuff like that, because each time I was like, no, that person, we still need that person for that, or we still miss that information or that moment with that person, so for sure that person is not gonna die. So I never felt it like that, except for the last episode. But I'm sorry for you if you thought that someone would die for sure during the new season. Each episode was surely really rough for you to watch. No, for once I decided to not expect for the worst. I know, it's a surprise. For once, I tried to do that. I'm happy no one did, but I was really expecting it. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand also how relieved you were when you finished the season. But like I said, I think that for not the next season, but the season after that, we can lose people, and I'm beginning to think also maybe more than just one. For the Ashira, at least, maybe. I don't want that, but... You know, for example, Sanemi, the fact that we have Genya, his brother, the fact that we discovered a little of them, I can imagine that we're gonna meet Sanemi more, we're gonna discover more about him, we're gonna have moments with him, and it would be awful, but for the story and for Genya also, his character, to not live into the shadow of his brother, to have that also to fight for, I don't know. I think a lot of people assumed if someone did, it would be another Ashira, for sure. I don't think people were expecting Nezuko teased or in the future others like the main trio. Oh, for sure, I'm not expecting anyone into the trio to die. I think that it can be maybe more someone like Genya, like Kanao. I don't want that, for sure, I don't want that. But if I have to think about one of the young girls, you know, to die, maybe it can be more one of them than one of the trio. And for sure, no one suspected for Nezuko to be in danger because, you know, it was so usual for us to have her around only, you know, during the fight and being so great. And it has been also so long that we didn't talk about that issue with the sun and all, that really when it happened, you saw it during my reaction video, when the sun came, I was thinking about, oh, it's gonna kill the big demon, that's gonna be great and all. And I totally forgot that Nezuko would be impacted also, like, it was out of my mind. I am so curious about Genya's powers. For me, we had the answer of it, no? Or it's just me who made a theory about it and I managed to convince myself that we had the answer of it. We saw that their mother was a demon, was changing during the night, and it was not the first time, you know, she was out during the night most of the time. It was something really usual. For me, in fact, she had her kids while she was a demon, and they are not a mix of demon and human, but because of that, they have some abilities like demons. That's what I understood. Also, nice bonus that Mitsuri and Muchiro weren't forced to retire. Yes, that's great. It's even better because we're gonna need all of the forces, you know, that we can against Muzan. And they were great. Do you think Inosuke will ever get Tanjiro's name right? I'm hoping he never does. I think that at some point he's gonna have his name right. But I think, you know, that it's gonna come during a particular moment, you know, during an epic moment or during an emotional moment. And without knowing it, you know, without thinking about it, he's gonna have his name right. And we're gonna see Tanjiro being like, oh, you had it, you know, and with that, Inosuke is gonna realize that he had it. He does once every 7 times. He already has a couple times. But at some point, he's gonna have it right no matter what, you know? I thought that, yes, he does once every 7 times, but I thought, you know, that it was just at the beginning, you know, when he's not really with someone for that long. It's gonna be like that for his entire life? What about Nezuko? Is he naming Nezuko in another way? I never paid attention to that. My favorite moment still has to be Inosuke just hanging onto the ceiling above Tanjiro's bed. Yes, I forgot about that moment. Creepy and hilarious. We know Genya can't do any breathing styles. He likes guns and he can devour demons to get some temporary demonstrants. Okay. Yes, I really think that I managed to convince myself that that was the explanation, behind Genya's abilities. To explain also all of the scars and the fact that he can repair himself like that. To explain the fact that he has these things also to eat. He can devour, like you say, demons, all of that. I really put that explanation into my mind. Sometimes I wonder if he knows about Nezuko's existence. That double barrel shotgun was such a welcome surprise. It was not like that into the manga? He didn't have it? But yes, that was such a good moment, him coming like that. Now that I think about it, I don't think Inosuke ever said Nezuko's name. Now that I think about it, I don't think neither. I'm thinking about it. And even Zenitsu, I can't remember. But at the same time, when you are with people and all of that, you are not naming them by their names, at each end, of a sentence. Like, no, in fact, you're never doing that into real life. So they don't have to put that thing, into the anime each time. We'll see. For the next season, we'll see. Guys, I'm not gonna last for a long time. It has been already 2 hours that we are together. And to be fully honest with you guys, I still have the first reaction video of the first episode of the new season of The Witcher to finish to edit. I think that I still have 2 hours of work on it. I think something like that. And in France, it's already 8 p.m. So if I want to have a little time for me after that, just to eat also, that would be great. I can't last for a really long time with you guys. So if you have some new questions, some new things that you want to discuss about before I leave, it's a moment. Zenitsu for sure had said Nezuko's name. For sure he fall in love with the girl. That it is so in love with her, no way he hasn't said her name. I'm binging The Witcher later today. You didn't begin it, Ferdinand? Okay. I won't say anything. I talked a little about it at the beginning of this live session without saying any spoilers about it. And okay. You'll see how it's gonna be. Any fun plans for the weekend? Yes, I'm gonna go out with one of my friends, because she's gonna be... I don't know if you have that into your country. She's not gonna get married, but she's gonna get paxed. It's the step before, getting married in France. Or if you don't want to get married, you can have un pax, which is great, for administrative stuff. And also, she's gonna do that with her boyfriend soon. So we're gonna have a little thing, between girls. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be tomorrow. I want to see Zenitsu's reaction to Nezuko talking. That's gonna be so great! Just, to have her back without her thing, on her mouth. I'm just wondering about how they're gonna react. Are they gonna see it just like that? I'm not even sure. Who is sending little hearts like that? I didn't know that you could do that. Who is doing that? That's cool. I did not know that you could do that. I didn't say any spoiler, see? I didn't see any spoiler about the first part of that new season. I hope that it's gonna please you, and I will see you no matter what on the comments of these videos to discuss about it. But yes, I spent 2 days watching it, filming my reactions and my thoughts about it, and also for the new episode of The Walking Dead Dead City. And right there, I'm beginning to edit these videos, and I'm gonna do that during 2 or 3 days. So you guys, you're gonna have these videos right on time, next week. That's gonna be great. But you know, like I was saying at the beginning of this live session, when I'm filming that much and I'm editing everything just after it to be right on time for you guys, at the end of the day, I'm tired of the sound of my own voice. But I think that it's a lot like that with some other jobs, you know, like that, where you're forced to talk a lot. At the end of the day, you're tired of your voice. But right there, it was great to have this little time with you. It was my little recreation, you know, for the day. To spend that moment with you, it was cool. I hope that you appreciated that moment. And no matter what, like always, I will see you again for a new live session at the end of next month. Like always, it's gonna be on the same day than movie day. Just if you are wondering, you know, when you're watching the schedule, when it's gonna be an hour, and each time it's the last Friday of the month. How much of it do you really remember? You're talking about what? I'm sorry, I talked about a lot of things right there, so how much of it you really remember? I talked about so many things in such a short time. I can't remember. You mean for The Witcher? I was talking about The Witcher, I was talking about Demon Slayer. You're talking about what, my dear? About The Witcher? Really, I just watched it, so I remember everything about it. 4 a.m. and work tomorrow, oh boy. That's it. Genshin Impact. You have to close that and you're going to bed. You have work tomorrow. Come on. I was talking about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You never talked about that into the previous messages. Or maybe I missed a big message, but I don't think that you talked about it. I didn't see your message, any message about it earlier. About Full Metal Alchemist, I have to be honest, I don't remember a lot about it, like all of the details, all of the things. But I remember a lot, in fact, about the characters, about how they're gonna evolve, how they can end, and their relationship. I remember mostly that, so I think, you know, that it wouldn't be great to rewatch it with you guys, even if for the story, really, for how it is, some things, you know, I don't remember them and I would be surprised again. For the big things and for the emotional things, I think that I wouldn't be surprised, and it's not my kind of reaction videos, you know, to anticipate the emotional moments and to not be fully into it, or to know that I'm gonna be emotional and to know in advance that I'm gonna cry. Do you understand what I mean? I don't think I ever told you. I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist now. Cool, really cool. I'm sure that you love it. Fun fact, a lot of the Demon Slayer voice actors are actually in this game. Okay. A lot of them are into a lot of other things. I had someone, you know, for this new season of Demon Slayer, in each video for Demon Slayer, that person was telling me on the comments in what other animes, other shows, other things I could find all of these voice actors and actresses. So if it's something that you're interested about, you can go and check these informations. Tanjiro Inosuke Shinobu Nezuko Daki Gyutaro Akasaka off the top of my head. I have the impression that you have parallel discussions, guys. Oh no, you were talking about the voice actors. I was not with you anymore. I was like, what? Why all of these names suddenly? Guys, I'm gonna let you right there. I'm gonna go to eat a little, and then I will continue to work on the first video of The Witcher. So you guys, you're gonna have it for Patreon on Monday, and that's gonna be cool. I wish you the best, guys. I hope that you're gonna have a good... No, not the baguette. I hope that you're gonna have a good weekend. I hope also that you're gonna have a good beginning of the summer, because when I'm gonna see you again, it's gonna be normally in 1 month. So I hope that you're gonna have a good beginning of the summer. Good luck for your new job, Ayana. I wish you all of the best for that new job. I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be alright, everything is gonna be okay. But still, good luck for that. Be brave, for this new job. And everything is gonna be okay. I wish you the best, guys. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Yes, and good night. Go to bed, you. You have work tomorrow. Bye, guys.